again. Act like a saint, who am I to pretend? Asking the Lord to forgive all my sins with my fingers crossed behind my back with a grin. I sin. I feel like the Bucks. I win. Again and again.
Phone number after the beep.
Cause they couldn't see me going very far. Now I be overseas with the mob. I get paid when I pass a bar, but I got no love.
With the MLB draft already, young prospect shares his expectations with a former coach.
So there wasn't no love in my home, so only get love when it's coming from me. Preach. I sin. I feel like the Bucks. I win. Again and again. Now they telling their friends. I don't know who my friends. They like to pretend. Santa Monica Boulevard. I can't tell amen.
Carlos, you lived that in your baseball career. What's his world like?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. You know that if you perform, you will get the call.
We've got a developing story here. JP, what are you hearing?
I'm checking the numbers, I'm talking to my sources and my scouts, and they're all telling me, hey, this could actually work.
Most of us mere mortals, when we were that age, we were barely chewing gum and walking at the same time, let alone playing the hardest game there is.
Let's see if he's pumping up mentally here to adapt. That's what good players do.
That dream of getting the big leagues is now becoming reality with that one phone call.
Continuing our MLB Draft Day 2 wrap-up coverage, back to the prospect that we mentioned before the break.
A minor league manager checks in with one of his players to discuss a launch plan for the young man's development.
Rolling along with the podcast and back on the prospect who's divided the scouting community, I am opposed to this belief that he went too high. I really think he could be a steal here. This is a guy who's got so much development left to do. He's got so much potential. And I think all the scouts who are down on him think, oh, he's not a finished product. We don't know what he is. That, to me, could be a good thing. He can hit. He can field. He can pitch. There is so much untapped potential so far for this guy. I'm excited to see what he becomes. And certainly as he gets started actually playing, actually being in games, we're going to be able to talk to some other folks who get a better read on him and see what they think. I'm excited for that. And frankly, I'm going to have my eye on him for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I go by the name of Phil Augusta Jackson. This is the Redondo tape. Shout out to Nick Lee. 6 months in Redondo, beach right by the condo. Oh my gosh, oh my casa, I'ma need my sushi pronto. Shooting star like a Cosmo, make you move like a mambo. Spank a hater like a bongo, they be sleeping mano. Girl sweet like a mango, gets a taste to the tango. Strum like a banjo, and hit the sound in our sandals. Flow hot like a condo, ain't no place that I can't go. On a mission like Rambo, self-portrait like Van Gogh. My whole team really on deck. Chuck Norris about to go flex. Nike flow about to get checks. Pump it up, about to get pecs. Jeans work like a named Shrek. With the money, with the pound, respect on deck like a Porsche. Move fast like a Porsche, by the beat like a horse. Spit flames like a torch. Now I'm riding up the 2. You would think I'm in the 6. Born Jan 26, 36, but I never the brick. When I shoot, I never brick. When I shoot it, swish. 4th quarter, 10 on the clock. Follow through is in the wrist. I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm about it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm with it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. You dig it? Squad hustle like a relay, run it back like a replay. No time for that he say. I care about what she say. Self-care like eat, pray. Give thanks before I eat, pray. But tell a hater that I eat, pray. I'm like Miami where the heat stay. Got the focus like a sensei. Had to carve it out my own way. You ain't got the answers like Sway. Friday night just got paid. Bought a coat that's just suede. Leveled up like 12th grade. Sweetest taboo, call me Sade. Black Bandit, you could call me Blade. Work hard, play hard, that's the motto. Pop, pop, that's the sound of the pop, pop. Wake up, grind hard, full throttle. Supreme good, shout out to Aristotle. Team winning, it was kinda hard to swallow, but we all give thanks. Mahalo, it's auto. Medicare, we get it, and we gonna keep it up. We put the focus in our cup and just go. So, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm about it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I bought it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm with it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. You dig it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm about it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I bought it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. I'm with it, I get it, I got it, I'm good. You dig it,
Say I'm yours, but I'm anybody else's. You say you're mine, but there's always someone else. All the disguise, we're in love with being selfless. Let's make the most, say a toast before we melt. Don't do this to me. We're both so far gone. Can't tell right from You say you're mine, but you're anybody else's. I say I'm yours, but there's always someone else. We're both so far gone. Can't tell right from wrong.
for it if you got it. Going live, good it a show. Pick up the pace. Two scene ain't enough. Four tie team is us. Man on first, on second, on third. I'ma have to clean it up. I done went yard, they all gone. The alien beat it up. Man contract, they want me back. I'ma have to green it up like Fenway Wall. Really feel fine. Worry about y'all, it's just my time. I got my swing right, that's a green light. That's just my sign. This was a ring light. If you missed out, better press rewind. I'm just a highlight reel. To do what I do takes skill. I'm about to chase money in case. Clean the base. Pick up the pace. I'm about to chase money in case. Clean the base. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, good in the show. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, good in the show. Pick up the pace.
A player receives a check-in from one of his coaches.
We hear all the time from people around the game that Double A is where you start to see the breaking balls that are really set apart from what you've seen before. That can be a big challenge for him.
A Double A hitting coach touches base with a new arrival to the team.
Baseball here on the show as we set our sights on the Double-A Northeast League. Tonight, Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series between the Flying Squirrels of Richmond and the Hartford Yard Goats. It's baseball, it's the show, and it comes your way next. U. Booth will be on the bump for Game 2 of the series. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
The leadoff hitter tonight. 3-pitch mix, and he needs all 3 of his pitches. If he has them all working and uses them properly, he has a chance to be very
22-0 the final tonight. The Yard Goats took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. U. Booth. Innings.
Prospect receives a check-in from his agent, who wants to make sure his client's career is being launched in a way that suits the young man's goals and ambitions. minor league pitching coach offers advice to a new member of his staff. This minor league team is reminded that the eyes of the organization are keeping tabs on them.
Semanal que manden bajen PR a la fama no se me aferren no soy de la calle pero me pegué y no hay que los desentierre mi nieto ya tiene
The team's future stars are on display as minor league baseball comes your way on the show tonight. The first of this 3-game weekend series between the Hartford Yard and Portland find themselves on a 5-game.
4-4. Take your base.
So now here it is.
I don't care who you roll out there against these guys. That's 10 wins in a row
Time
for
of
them.
the ball game.
So they
4
feel like
hours
they can
and
beat anybody
16
in the
minutes.
league right now. And they're making it look awfully easy.
As we look at this young pitching prospect, there are so many things to learn early in your professional career as a pitcher. Al Leiter is with us. Al, what are some of the biggest things to keep in mind as you start your rise in the pro ranks as a hurler?
Well, I think the simplicity. He's hiding in the crowds, no future Batman, not before Christmas, not very likely. Starred in a warehouse in a valley. I feel so good to have a perfect song. I feel so good to be in total control. I feel so good to have a perfect song. I feel so good to be in total control. It's so convincing, but something's missing. The sun is kissing my face and erasing my doubts. I'm going out with the bang and the fangs of a parasite. I'm feeling alright. Said no one. She's a plastic Cleopatra on a throne of ice.
With the MLB draft already underway, a young prospect shares his expectations with a former coach.
Carlos, you lived that in your baseball career. What's
exciting? You know that if you perform, you will get the call.
We've got a developing story here. JP, what are you hearing?
I'm checking the numbers. I'm talking to my sources and my scouts, and they're all telling me, hey, this could actually work.
Most of us mere mortals, when we were that age, we were barely chewing gum and walking at the same time, let alone playing the hardest game there is.
Let's see if he's pumping up mentally here to adapt. That's what good players do.
That dream of getting the big leagues is now becoming reality with that one phone call.
Continuing our MLB Draft Day 2 wrap-up coverage, back to the prospect that we mentioned before the break. There was some surprise, even some criticism of the front office over how early he went off the board. Jonathan Mayo, what do you think of this pick?
Man, I don't think any of us saw this one coming. This definitely feels like a reach to me. I had him more as a day 3 kind of guy. There was a split camp. A lot of scouts disagreed whether he's better as a pitcher or better as a hitter. I'm guessing the team felt that he's got potential on both sides of the ball, and maybe that adds some value to him. But this made me scratch my head a little bit for sure.
All right, Jonathan Mayo, thanks. What about you, Jim Callis? Was this a head-scratcher or the reach of the draft, as some of the other analysts have suggested?
Yeah, I talked to somebody with the team, and they're excited to get this guy. This is a guy they really want. And the 2 points the club made to me were, one, this whole debate, is he a hitter, is he a pitcher, what are you going to do with him? There was a lot of confusion. This team isn't confused. This team feels like he's got very good potential as a hitter and as a pitcher. They may even try to play him both ways. And they felt like there were a couple other teams that were starting to sniff around this guy. And, this isn't the NFL or NBA draft where you can trade down to get a guy you want. If you want a guy, you have to take him because there's no trades. And they felt like if they didn't take him where they did, somebody else was going to get them. And they just absolutely did not want that to happen.
Jim Callis, we appreciate the time. Thanks.
A minor league manager checks in with one of his players to discuss a launch plan for the young man's development.
I'ma need my retainer. Stacking up the paper until E.T. my neighbor. Just reaping all the fruits of my labor. I got acres. And this has been a long time coming. Haters gonna be part-time loving. Haters been a long time running. It don't matter, they ain't catching up at all, I promise. It's been a long time coming. Haters gonna be part-time loving. Putting up some all-time numbers. Hang the banner, they ain't catching up at all. Finna make my own way. Following the tide, 100 from the jump, they all know I'm bona fide. Plenty of it left to keep the haters occupied. Work too hard, but to let it die. Made my own way, following the tide. 100 from the jump, they all know I'm bona fide. Plenty of it left to keep the haters occupied. I work too hard, but to let it die. Yeah, I work too hard, but to let it die. I work too hard, but to let it die. Let it die.
Rolling along with the podcast and back on the prospect who's divided the scouting community, I am opposed to this belief that he went too high. I really think he could be a steal here. This is a guy who's got so much development left to do. He's got so much potential. And I think all the scouts who are down on him think, oh, he's not a finished product. We don't know what he is. That, to me, could be a good thing. He can hit. He can field. He can pitch. There is so much untapped potential so far for this guy. I'm excited to see what he becomes. And certainly as he gets started actually playing, actually being in games, we're going to be able to talk to some other folks who get a better read on him and see what they think. I'm excited for that. And frankly, I'm going to have my eye on him for a while. We hear all the time from people around the game that Double A is where you start to see the breaking balls that are really set apart from what you've seen before. That can be a big challenge for a young hitter.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, when you think...
A Double A hitting coach touches base with a new arrival to the team.
Baseball is live and on the air on the show. Game.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Squirrels.
So now here is... Tons of runs in this one. The Yard Goats jumped out to an early lead in the first. Season.
Perish the pain. I was impoverished those ties little while. Stared into open lane. Stared into long nights out instead. West of the eastern coast, carving the wind, and dawn of your eyes, dust off your mind. When you say us, you make me trust I will never keep you from an open door. I know, you know.
The show's continuing coverage of Double A Northeast League Baseball is on the air. Tonight, Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series between the Flying Squirrels of Richmond and the Hartford Yard Goats. We've got
And now,
baseball
please
on the
welcome
show, and it's
your
coming up next. from the Empire State gets the starting assignment here. What do we need to know here, Danny?
This guy has a 3-pitch mix, and he needs
18-2 in tonight's game. The yard goes. Took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end.
A prospect receives a check-in from his agent, who wants to make sure his client's career is being launched in a way that suits the young man's goals and ambitions. A minor league pitching coach offers advice to a new member of his staff.
Joe Random gets the call for game 1 of the series. So now, 11-0, the final shutout total in this one. The Yard Goats took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end.
For the victorious Yard
Random
Goats,
takes
11
the win
runs,
on the mound,
15
his second of the year.
No
And
errors.
it's a
They
dandy, a
left
complete
21
game,
runners on base.
3-hit performance. The Yard Goats are looking to collect their... Joe Random is on the mound. So now here is... nothing the final tonight. Hartford bats well with 16 hits. Joe Random takes the win on the mound, his second of the year, racking up 14 Ks in doing so.
Drive home safely.
Striding forward. Tons of runs in this one. The Hartford Yard Goats came out swinging with a huge first inning.
Now I'm switching up my energy. My enemies feel like I got hundreds of them. No love for me. Y'all ain't in the streets.
It's actually happening. The organization has decided to try him as both a position player and as a pitcher. They're really trying it here at the AA level. Jonathan Mayo of MLB Pipeline is with me. Jonathan, do you think this can work?
I mean, can it work, Ben? Yeah, of course it can work. It hasn't worked all too often. There are more and more teams.
This minor league team is reminded that the eyes of the organization are keeping tabs on them.
Do it again, act like a saint, who am I to pretend? Asking the Lord to forgive all my sins with my fingers crossed behind my back with a grin. I sin, I feel like the Bucks. I win, again and again, again and again. Now they telling their friends, I don't know who my friends, they like.
Time for minor league baseball here on the Joe Random. So now here is tons of runs in this one. Hartford jumped out to an early
Time
lead
of
in
the
the
ball
first
game,
and never
3
looked
hours
back.
and 58 minutes.
Booth earns the win, his second, permitting only
Thank you
one hit
for
in
joining
6
us here
complete
tonight.
innings.
And we
Joe
remind you to
Random
please
struggled and
drive
gets the
home
loss
safely.
after giving up 6 earned. Welcome to MLB The Show. And to the plate now. Of runs in this one. The Yard Goats led this game from the 3rd inning on and never wavered.
Time of the ball game,
Joe
4 hours
Random
and 2
earns his
minutes.
first win of the season. Joe Random
Thank
only
you
completed
for joining
2
us
innings
here
and
this
is
evening.
charged with the loss.
We remind you
so
to
that
please
just about does
drive
it for
home
Mark
safely.
DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com. Minor League Baseball is live and on the air on the show today. Joe Random, the California-born right-hander, is on the mound. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, thanks, Matty D. This guy here is a basic
So now here. $28-0 the final this afternoon. The Hartford Yard Goats.
A player new to his Double-A squad gets a tip from one of his coaches.
He's off to a hot start in his pro career, absolutely lighting it up at the plate. I've got Sean Casey, the mayor, with me today. Case, is this an early indication that he's going to be a star?
Well, I think the biggest thing when you know, you have to be careful sometimes with prospects because you got to let them play out, right? I think you got to let them develop in the minor leagues, get some time under their belt. You have consistency because the biggest thing when you get to the big league level is that consistency day in and day out, right? So you could dominate at Double-A, but you know, and get caught up too quick, and then the third deck comes in the big leagues and the 50,000 fans are there instead of 5. It's a whole nother ball game, you know. So I think the biggest thing is let guys develop, let them get the consistency, and when they get to the big leagues, now they're ready to play and succeed.
His future stars are on display. Joe Random will be on the mound for the series opener. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
This guy's one of the most dominant pitchers in the...
So now here...
Take your base.
Tons of runs in this one. The yard goes. Took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Joe Random notches his third win of the year. Joe Random unable to work out of the second inning as he suffered with the loss. The show's continuing coverage of AA Northeast League Baseball. Joe Random will be on the bump for game 2 of this. So now here is 11-0, the final shutout total in this one. The Hartford Yard goes used a nice fifth inning to take the lead, and they never gave it back.
11 runs,
Joe Random
16
notches his
no
third
errors.
win of the year as he racked up
base.
10 strikeouts in the effort. Time for minor league baseball here on the show. Booth, a right-hander from the Empire State, gets the starting assignment here. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, it wasn't a great performance in his last start, but he did pitch well enough to earn the win. We'll see if he can turn in a...
Tons of runs in this one. The Hartford Yard goes. Came out swinging with a huge first inning that really set them up well.
4 hours and 19 minutes.
Wins his third.
Clean up base. Pick up the pace. I'm out of chase. Money in case. Clean up base. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, could it a show? Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, could it a show? Pick up the pace. Step on the dick.
Jim Kells of MLB Pipeline joins me on the podcast today. Jim, do you think this two-way experiment can work?
Well, it's difficult. You know, it's interesting to take a look at, but there's a reason this doesn't get tried very often, is that it's very hard to be a big league hitter. It's very hard to be a big league pitcher. And when you're trying to do both at the same time, it really increases that degree of difficulty. I always think of a guy like Dave Winfield, who was probably the best two-way player. You know, he's drafted in football and basketball, too. Unbelievable athlete coming out of Minnesota. And the Padres took him right almost at the top of the draft. He'd struck out 15 in his last College World Series game. And they didn't
clean up base. Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, could it a show? Got a call for it if you got it. Ain't no stopping on the go. Got a call for it if you got it. Going live, could it a show? Pick it up, pace. Two scene ain't enough.
Minor league baseball is live and on. Next will be the day. 15-0 the final in this one. Hartford led this game from the third inning on and never wavered.
Time of the ball
Joe
game. 3 hours and 58
his third
minutes.
win of the year, and it's a dandy, a complete game, three-hit performance. Joe
and we remind you to
couldn't work out of the third inning, taking
safely.
the loss. So that'll just about do it. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. Teams' future stars are on display. It's minor league. So now here.
Wow, another game and another night to celebrate another victory. I'm just excited we've been able to be here to witness this amazing streak.
Time
There's
of the ball
nothing
game.
prettier
3
in the
hours
world
and
than good
57
baseball,
minutes.
and that's just what they're giving us.
22-0 the final tonight. Hartford
We
earned
remind
the
you
win
to
with a
please
big
drive home
20-hit attack.
safely.
Joe Random with his fourth win this season with 15 strikeouts. Joe Random couldn't escape the fourth inning as he slapped with the loss. MLB The Show in this presentation of...
Ball four, take the bait.
So now here... Tons of runs in this one. Hartford came out swinging with a huge first inning that really set...
It is an honor for me. There's basically nobody better qualified to talk about what it's like as a two-way player than legendary softball star Jenny Finch, who joins me now. Jenny, when you were coming up, what was it like for you? How did you deal with people who doubted your ability to stay as a two-way player?
Well, first, it's an honor to be here. I couldn't be more thrilled to be on this show. It wasn't easy. There were some coaches, actually, that I ended up changing teams because they wouldn't let me be a two-way player. But I wanted to, and I wanted to have the bat in my hands. I wanted to be able to be on defense, and I wanted to encourage those young athletes to do what you want to do and go out there and shine. And so it's exciting. It's not...
A minor league manager checks in to see if this young man is inclined to make any adjustments to the club's current plan for his development. The player affirms that he's still on board with the original plan. A coach offers guidance to a developing player.
Minor League Baseball here on the show as we set our sights on the AA Northeast League. Tonight, the opener of a three-game series between the Hartford Yard Goats and the Portland Sea Dogs. The Yard Goats. Joe Random gets the call for game one of the series. What do we need to know here, Danny? So now here is Booth
Batting
as he'll dig into the left-handed batter's box. For
the
the first pitch, a check at first, and the runner back.
Hey, need you right here.
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. And a pitch out. Nothing doing, though, and that's ball one.
Here you go,
The
guys.
1-0. He's running. Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out. And a changeup runs inside on him as he's got to back out of the way of that one. Fellas, you take a look at our homestanding ball club as they come into this one tonight. It was another loss for them last time out, and that makes them 2-8 over their last 10 games.
Yeah, Matty, this definitely looks like a situation where somebody's going to have to call a team meeting. I don't know if it comes from a veteran or the manager decides to close the doors for a second, but this team has not played well. They find themselves losing lately. They lost the last game, and they're going to need a spark to get this thing turned around.
Lifted the other way to left center. And this is into the alley and ought to be good for extra bases. And add one more as this is now a 6-0 ball game.
Now batting, the designated.
Now here's the first offer. Hit
Blue.
high and deep to left field. Left fielder looking up to the track, to the wall. Gone! It's a grand slam.
Wow, you can understand what the pitchers think.
Now batting, designated hitter, Boo.
First delivery to him. Yu Booth stands in as he checks his swing here for strike one. Sent on the ground out to second.
Come on, run it, run it, run it.
Gets him, and the side is retired. So 3 runs on 4 hits. All set for the start of the inning, and digging in is the DH, the switch hitter, Yu Booth. And that one's in on the hands to start the inning. It's ball 1.
You know, something to keep in mind, they're really burning through that bullpen, and this is only the first game of the series. Definitely could have an impact on the rest of the series, and maybe even the whole week ahead.
Hey, get the pitch right now.
The 1-1 home. Hard hit ball to second. Fielded cleanly. And the throw is wide as it pulls the first baseman off the bag.
Man, this is a perfect.
Now that, designated hitter.
Here's the first pitch. Weak grounder back to the mound.
On the back, pick it up, pick it up.
Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the new inning set to get underway. And standing in is the DH, Yu Booth. Yanked hard down the left field line, and that'll get by and on through towards the wall. And he is in the second with a double, his 3rd hit of the night. All set to start the 9th in this one. And next, the dangerous power threat, Yu Booth. Hit out towards second. Throw on to first for the out, and that is how the 9th inning gets underway.
Wow, another game and another night to celebrate another victory. I'm just excited we've been able to be here to witness this amazing streak. There's nothing prettier in the world than good baseball, and that's just what they're giving us.
We remind you to please
tons of runs in this
safely.
one. The show's continuing coverage of AA Northeast League Baseball is on the air. Tonight, the second of 3 to start the week between the Yard Goats are white. So now here is Joe. 26-0, the final tonight. The Hartford Yard Goats jumped out to an early lead in the first and never looked back. Yu Booth with his 4th win this season as he allows only 2 hits over 9 full innings.
And we remind you to please
Joe Randall couldn't work out of the 3rd inning, taking the loss. So that'll put a wrap on things here this evening. For my partners Dan Plesac and Mark DeRosa, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a special presentation of MLB The Show. For more, follow us on Twitter. Minor League Baseball is live and on the air on the show. Tonight we wrap up this 3-game. So now here is Yu as the switch hitter will bat right-handed here. Off the plate and away there. 1 ball, no strikes. Fellas, you take a look at our homestanding ball club as they come into this one tonight. They've been fairly punchless of late, losing last time out and, in fact, dropping 6 of their last 7.
Yeah, Matty V, it hasn't been a very good homestand in D-Row. Through the first 5 games of this set, 1 and 4, that's not going to get it done at this level.
Yeah, and have lost in a variety of ways, whether it be on some bad pitching, some mistakes in the middle of the zone, untimely defense, not swinging the bat. They have to find a way to get this one.
You know who's the happiest man in the building right now? His starting pitcher.
Now that the designated hitter. Yu Booth.
Here's the first pitch. Yu Booth is in for his 2nd plate appearance as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0.
Wouldn't mind a pitcher expanding the zone a little bit more and using his aggressiveness against them.
Pulled high in the air out to left field. Random is underneath this one, and he will put it away to retire the side. So 4 runs in the inning, and
now batting, designated hitter, Yu Booth.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Yu Booth is in for the 3rd time as he looks at a ball high. It's 1-0.
Hey, this is one of those tough outings as a reliever. Just have to keep throwing strikes and believe sooner or later.
Well, the play's been made, and with it comes the end of the inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Yu Boo.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Out in front here is this one scorched foul to the left. Swinging a blooper to the right side. Here comes the right fielder, but he won't get there. It falls in. Tack on another here as the runner scores from second, and he's able to get back in there at first safely.
Now batting, the designated hitter,
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Line drive, fair ball down the line. 1 run scores. The relay. Now he's safe at second as they also score a pair of runs on the play.
When this one left.
Now batting, designated hitter, Yu.
Now the first pitch. Here's another shot down the line in right.
You're going.
1 run is scored. 2 runs scored. It's cut off, so all 3 runners are in to score. So now a guy making a lot of noise in this one. Yu Boo. He's got his sights set on a 5-hit ball game here. High in the air out to center field. Catch is made. Here comes the runner from third.
Go hard, you're scoring.
1 run scores. Now the relay home, and he is in there. So the next to bat will be tons of runs in this one. The Hartford Yard Goats jumped out to an early lead in the first.
Welcome to the land of the permanent sun, where the flowers are melted and the future is fun. The freeway lizards are feeling so good on the one-way trip back to West Hollywood. Let's go. It feels so good to have
one of the most underappreciated skills a young player can develop is plate discipline and the ability to work good counts to your advantage. A good at-bat can go a long way. Mike Lowell, you know a little something about that. How do you build a good at-bat as a hitter?
Well, I think preparation is the first key. Understanding what type of stuff you are going to see that night. And then being able to have
not before Christmas, not very likely. Start in a warehouse, in a valley. It feels so good to have no perfect soul. It feels so good to be in total control.
Next, it'll be Yu Boo.
Batting ninth.
Last night's game
The
was a
center
great
fielder.
one for him, of course. 12-0, the rather convincing shutout final score. The Hartford Yard Goats took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Joe Random earned his 5th win of the year as he allows only 1 hit in 9 full innings. Joe Random was hit hard to the tune of 7 earned as he takes the loss. So that's a wrap for us here tonight for my
3
partners.
hours.
Wow. Check it. A1, I ain't talking steak sauce. Run this down when I'm a great boss. Run this, it ain't for the weight loss. Matter of fact, tryna be the cake boss. Fill up the bag to the brim right there. Standing in the shine, make it dim right there. Gospel truth, yeah, that's him right there. That boy stay by the rim right there. Step my dough just like it's Philo. Try to Uber, pick me up on Pico. Yeah, got some dirt back like some mosquitoes. And I never blame myself. You getting low down the placebo. These C-notes getting them looser than that's how it is. And the feeling when this trio get down to biz. I heard you need a hit. Got the gloves, you been ollie with the slip. Shower me with love, already bathing in drip. This ain't a skip, blue chip on the mission, finna dip. Pole position, little. been a long time coming. Haters gonna be part time.
The Yard Goats are looking to make history here today. Can they break the all-time winning streak record? We'll
Three.
Now at the plate here is tons of runs in this one. Hartford took the lead in the fourth and held on until the end.
33.
Let me get this straight. We drafted the kid, which we shouldn't have done too early. And we drafted him because we thought we were drafting a straight two-way player. Really? That's what we were thinking about doing? Come on, please. You know how hard this is to be a major league player, even one aspect of it? And now we drafted a kid who's broken heroes. They're just wooden wires. Hallelujah. Spread the news, but don't believe the hype. All right.
28-0 the final decision.
Perish the pain. I was impoverished those ties little while.
To MLB The Show and this presentation of minor league baseball. It's the first game in the month of June between the Bowie Bay Sox and the Hartford Yard. The Yard Goats look to match the longest winning streak in baseball history.
Well,
I'm kind of running out of words to describe how incredible this winning streak has become. Every win just cements.
I feel like I'ma live somehow. Your love never meant much to me. Love never meant much to me. Your love never meant much to me. God. The God parted is Tokyo and I'm Godzilla. Playing blackjack versus Daniel on the car dealer. Just bought a demon, I'm screaming about the car dealer.
As we look at this young pitching prospect, there are so many things to learn early in your as a pitcher. Al Leiter is with us. Al, what are some of the big start your rise in the pro ranks as a hurler?
Well, I think the simplicity of pitching, and I
services. Not a holy man, but a moral in my perversity. So I support workers unionizing their services.
They say that you don't love me. Hey, I'm guessing I'ma be okay. You say that you don't feel me now. I feel like I'ma live somehow.
Time for minor league baseball here.
Three.
So here is
first base.
17-0 the final tonight. The yard. There is rain in the area, but we've been given the go-ahead. At the plate now. Nothing the final tonight. The Hartford Yard goes. Red.
bottom low, but that was just part of my growth. My heart's always broken, I guess I'm starting over. And now my battered soul is going back through the motions. I'm just half of a whole who once had no control. I was breaking my oath, it was happening over and over again. That wasn't gold, so I had to take hold. Sad how it goes when you don't even know to begin. It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution. It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution. Follow me now if you ready to do more than just talk. Walk with me, be the solution. Offer critical thought for the youth, be the solution. Everyone is at fault, after all, we're only human. I've been the problem, you've been the problem, and now we're the solution.
I spread my arms like frosting, like a phoenix wing around its offspring. Soda pop sing songs of optimism. 1972, caught the rhythm of a heartbeat. Lost the change in a car seat, aiming at the mirror but still blames the party. As if everybody's listening wrong. It's the vision I've drawn of this impossible mission I'm on. I ain't like the rest of the scene. I'm not swimming in a stream of synthetic dreams. No, I work hard, keep everything clean, cause the needle still stings when the pendulum swings. Yes, I'm trying to do my best. I'm not the best though, I do it to my death. I'll never let go. A student of the revolution, we put the salute in the solution.
It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution. It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution.
I was raised on the doctrine of the honorable Elijah Muhammad. Do what you gotta do to be profitable. Ain't nobody stopping you, but ain't nobody trying to plant your seeds and water too. Unless you're cool with starving, who gotta harvest that garden? You. Meaning me, it became easy to see that I'm the one gotta put my life the way I'm supposed to be. And it might seem kinda cliche, but hey, truth be that way. Those that don't know need to hear, so those that do know need to say. You can quote them slogans over and over till you coasting through life until you slam into that wall, then bang, then it click. That truth is an upper lip, chilling right there under your nose until one day you come to grips. As long as the world been revolving, if I'm still groveling in the same problem wherever I walk, it's probably not none of y'all, but obviously some flaw that I ignore but got to see. And who got to solve it? Me, brother Ali.
It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution. It starts with me, I must admit. I've been a problem, but still I can't quit. Just spend my time complaining to no benefit, but nah, making a contribution, so that makes me the solution. Follow me now if you ready to do more than just talk. Walk with me, be the solution. Offer critical thought for the youth, be the solution. Everyone is at fault, after all, we're only human. I've been the problem, you've been the problem, and now we're the solution.
Don't worry, you're gonna be happy. Keep working today, that smile will come one day. Don't worry, you're gonna be happy. Keep fighting today, that smile will come one day. Muffins come for free, when you get it free, you will lose it freely. So you better know, work hard is the best way. Muffins come for free, when you get it free, you will lose it freely. So you better know, work hard is the best way. Let your hope come from fight, and go through your darkness, you will find your light. Don't worry, you gotta be happy. Keep working today, that smile will come one day. Don't worry, you gotta be happy. Keep fighting today, that smile will come one day.
Picture in your dreaming, and love will indicate you know that you're great. You know that you're safe. Picture in your dreaming, and love will indicate you know that you're great. You know that you're great.
2011, my name came alive. At the same time, I played my soul got bad. Now, literally, I would live lonely inside. On the physical side, all my miracles died. 2012, guess that plan didn't go well. Out my shell, still I'm living it. Yet it was written from God, it was gifted to give you a story that ain't hard to tell. 2013, far from a preteen, but it seemed that I had to chase my dreams, making anything that the world has not seen or heard. But my words like birds, 2014, when I turned 19, saying R.I.P. to my pit bull tree and my girl TT. When she got down, now I'm back on road, cause I couldn't come round to the funeral. Let a whole year pass, made an EP and the fans got mad. A lot of issues that a young man had, just 2 years shy of a high school grad. 2016, when the boy got mean, QLT embedded in my jeans. Around the same time I met X and Ski. If the plan ain't hit, then we just might be the ones that have it all in our reach. 2017, I had no place to sleep. 2018, Taboo, One Clean was the best to make people ever heard.
again. Act like a saint, who am I to pretend? Asking the Lord to forgive all my sins with my fingers crossed behind my back.
The game's future stars are on display. So next,
take your bait.
$30-0, the final tonight. The Yard Goats jumped out to an
Time of the
early
ball
lead in
game.
the first
3
and never
hours
looked
and
back.
59 minutes.
Joe Random earns his 6th winning
Thank
decision
you for
in this
joining
one,
us here
striking
this
out
evening.
12 in the process.
We remind you to
Joe
please
Random
drive home
allowed
safely.
7 earned runs to cross the plate in the losing effort.